What up, Jay?
Yo, what's going on, man?
My LA bridge ran. What's happening, big dog?
Man, I'm watching I'm watching these gentlemen on your show, and it's making me sad, bro.
Why is it making you sad, Jay?
It makes me sad, man. I mean, the young dude that was just on right now driving the truck, it looked like
Uh,
he wants you to do his dirty work.
you know me, I don't mind getting into the mud a little bit.
That ain't your job, though.
Yeah, it is. This is what I love to do.
No, man. The job is to give the people the information that they need in order to be able to go out and do it themselves. This is the same perpetuation of what America has done to our people and allowed us to believe is the way, which is I can go fuck it up and somebody gonna fix it for me. Anton, you ain't nothing but the government, bro.
That's not true.
You the government. They coming to you to fund the businesses. They coming to you to fix their
Oh,
relationships. They coming to you
I gotta
to
give them
make
the
it feel
information. They
good.
don't know no better, Jay.
Nah, you ain't nothing but the pastor, bro. You ain't
I'm,
nothing but
I
the
gotta give
pastor.
them. I gotta give them the information, Jay.
I'm fine with that, man. I'm totally fine with that. But then what do they get to go do with it?
I don't.
They got to go do something with the information, bro.
I
This
agree.
can't be it.
I agree, but then at the same time, at first you got to give them the insight, right? You got to give them the wake up call. It's like a shock and awe, right? It's like, hey, let me shake you and get you to wake up from your situation, right? But then a lot of people also, and you got to admit this, a lot of people honestly don't know. They don't have the insight on what it is that they're supposed to do differently. So at the very least, we got to give them the information on how they can do things differently. If somebody comes up and they say, if nobody ever told the guy, hey, listen, you fucking up, chick got $100,000 in debt, you can't be looking at, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. They don't give them that wake up call. At the very least, you know what I'm saying? We can't even start having a conversation. A lot of people don't
You
even
just
know.
you just said the same thing to this dude 11 times,
No.
11 different
Well, but
ways, and
but
still
but
don't get it.
it's up to him to take the information and utilize it. But
No,
I
it
have
ain't.
to give
No,
him
it
the
ain't. No,
information.
it ain't. At the end of the conversation,
Jay, they
I
want
need
to
you
know
to
your
talk
channel
about
too. People just asking for your channel in the chat too, so
it.
you got to tell them your channel.
Oh,
Come on, Jay, man, give them your channel, bro.
oh, bro. What think about it? I, I've been dealing with this a lot. I've been dealing with this a lot. With this particular mentality, because I get people that I mentor as well, bro.
Hmm.
But then what happens with me is I get impatient because I think people want to hear what they want to hear. They come into a conversation with a preconceived notion of how it's going to go.
Hmm.
And when you're honest with people, like you were honest with this gentleman,
Hmm.
then it becomes a situation of how can you help me fix my own bullshit?
They
And
they
I'm not.
gotta have assistance. They gotta have the assistance. They need the
What's the
guiding hand.
assistance? Huh?
They
What's
need
the
the
assistance?
guiding hand.
What's the assistance? What's the
You
guiding
got
hand?
well, Jay. Listen, you got to
At what
remember that
point
a
do
lot of
people
these
hold
people,
their own stuff?
a lot of these people have never had a father in their life, right? And so they've never had people in their life to actually tell them the truth. And all of the people that they've surrounded themselves with are people that told them what they wanted to hear, whether it be their friends, whether it be their mother, whatever that is. Nobody actually told them the truth. And so when they finally get with somebody that's willing to tell them the truth, it's refreshing to them. And so it hit them different. And so I don't expect for them to immediately say, okay, well, I'm going to do things different and I'm going to fix my life. Sometimes I say it to them and then they do a little bit, they get a little bit of success and then they fall and they fail, right? Because they never consistently continue to do the thing that I told them to do. Or they get a little bit of success and they think that they can go out on their own. No, it's like children, right? Because the child is going to continue to learn, they're going to continue to grow. But if they don't have that guiding hand to allow for them to have those controlled failures, right? But then in addition to that, you get the insight. It's a continuous growth, right? Even me, right? I still have the mentors that I've had my entire life, and I'm continuing to gain insight and information from them as I grow, right? So
How do
it's not a
you pay
one
your mentors?
it's
How
not
do
a
you pay
one
your
size
mentor?
fits all thing, though, Jay. It's a
How do
listen.
you pay
This
your
is where
mentor?
you are in your life, and this is where you have to be, and this is where I'm gonna give you the game and the insight and information on how you can grow to get to the next level. So it's not a okay, I'm a fix their life. It's more like let me give you game as I can continue to guide you, and you can become a better version than you were the day before. You know what I'm saying?
That's all well and good, man. But what's the best way to pay your mentor? What's the best way to
What's
pay
with
your
my
mentor?
own success,
With your own success, which
and
comes
they are
from
successful
following,
relatively.
following a very small percentage, a
No,
very
it's a
small
lot of
percentage.
people that's super successful. A lot of people.
Okay, I'm gonna give you that one. I'm gonna just give you that one because you know
Like
better
I
than
know
me.
people that's like really, really killing it.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you in that, but I think the percentage of it is so small. The percent, and when you're saying a lot of people, I think you mean a lot of people in numbers, right? You can look at 15, 20, 30 people,
Mm-hmm.
but out of how many thousand people
That's a
that
lot of
have come
people.
to you for free information, that
Oh,
come
for
to
free
you
information? I don't
to
know. I
get your
can't.
time, to
I
get
can't.
your
I
time,
can't.
to get
I can't. I can't quantify it. You know what I'm saying?
you don't feel it,
Because no, because some people I never follow up with, right? So some people may come in and they say, "Hey, Anton, what do you think about this?" And
right?
then I may never hear from them again. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how to quantify whether or not they were successful at it. But I
Okay,
got to give them the truth. I got to give them the truth.
let's talk about that reparation situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I like what you said about reparations because I'm a big fan of if you lose everything.
Mm-hmm.
If I get you, I'm gonna get everything, and ain't
Right.
no coming back. Ain't no coming back for what I done took. But I don't think that people are looking at this holistically.
Wow.
Let's
How do
just
you
say I
think they're
was.
looking at it?
Let's just say I was in favor of reparations.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what bothers me about our people is that they don't pay attention to just basic economics,
Mm-hmm.
and they're also not paying attention to the American culture. A lot of people will say Donald Trump was bad for America because he was a divisive president, this, and that. He divided the people. It's never been as bad as it was under President Trump for the last 50, 60, 70 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is going to happen if you get your 500,000, your 1.2 million? What do you think happens in this country when you're instantly richer than every Hispanic, every white person, half the Asians?
Mm-hmm.
What happens to you then? What happens to your kids at school then? Let's take economics out of it. What happens to the country?
Well, you looking at
We
it
worried about
from a
divisiveness
completely
before.
you looking at it from the wrong perspective though, Jay.
All right, then hit me.
And I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why you're looking at it from the wrong perspective is because you talking about people who don't they're not looking at it in the long-term ramifications, right? Nobody that plays the lottery says, "How is this going to affect me if I win in a negative way or anything like that?" The only thing they saying is, "I want the money." And it's the
Sure.
same thing. It's like the lottery for them, but obviously a different form. And so as a result, you asking people or you're phrasing it from your perspective in that you have a long-term view. You're very successful. You have a strong foundation. You know what I'm saying? I kicked it with you in real life. We hung out 22nd, 23rd floor out there in LA. You are a type of person that makes decisions based off of the long-term view, but you asking people that only care about the money and what it is that they can get out of it to start thinking more reasonably, which is one of the reasons why they in the position that they in the first place. And you're never going to get people to think like that. That play the lottery, that ask for reparations. You're never going to get people to think logically about how they're going to be affected or what that's going to do to the country ever. You're never going to get them to look at it from that perspective. That's the burden of people that are successful. People that are successful are burdened. They're cursed with a blessing, and that it's almost like information. It's like knowledge. Like one of the things that's so unique about people that are not successful is that they don't know what they don't know. And it's almost like children. Like children don't understand. They looking at you driving the cars. They're looking at you married. They may look at you having sex or whatever like that, but they don't know what comes along with it. They don't know the responsibilities. They don't know the suffering. They don't know the growth that you have to go through. They don't know the people that you have to then become responsible for. They don't know, the health problems. They don't know the hurt, the pain, the issues, the problems. All they know is, "Ooh, my food is good today and I want some more." And so it's like a curse. It's a curse of knowledge. It's a curse of being blessed. You're never gonna get people that don't know any better to become anything more than whatever it is that's right in front of them at that particular time, even if it hurts them.
So if that is in fact the case,
Mm-hmm.
if this is something that you can never get people to understand or never
Ever.
get them to see in this particular way, what the hell is the point in even having the conversation?
Well, because it's entertaining.
So we're here for shits and giggles,
Yeah.
not solution.
Listen, when I talk about reparations, I'm literally trolling. I'm trolling them and I'm
Real?
telling them this is hilarious to look at y'all out here looking like whole
It's
fools.
sad, bro. It's sad, man. It's sad in several different ways. Because
Yeah.
the other side of this is, let's just say I'm still for reparations.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just putting this out there just because I don't know if you hit this, but I didn't see you hit it. Let's just say we all get our 1.2 million. At what point do you realize that it just becomes monopoly money? It actually is not, it's not something that is
Yeah,
actually
because
even
it's
effectively
money
usable.
that we have today is monopoly money. It's already monopoly money. They just don't know it.
I,
The value in
I
it is
just
what it
can't.
is that we believe
I
it to
just have
be.
I have a hard time accepting that we just operate so highly on emotion, and there is no actual facts or figures that go into any of this shit.
Yeah, I agree. See,
And
like I'll give you an example. It's a guy right here, Greg Smith. He says, "Do y'all realize how many people would get themselves out of debt?" I don't.
oh my
I
god,
realize how many people would be even more in debt as a result of getting the money, though.
let me answer that
And you
comment.
talking to a literally a credit debt expert that's over here on my left
Greg,
hand side. But go ahead, you
I
can
want
answer it.
I want to address Greg directly with real life situations, and then tell me I'm lying. So I owned an insurance brokerage, two of them, for 15 years. Every year from January 1st all the way until, let's just call it, middle of May, people would just flood my brokerage trying to get the most basic full coverage insurance on that new 2006 Dodge Charger with 120,000 miles on it that they just financed for $35,000 with an $800 a month car payment. You really do think that people giving $1.2 million would do differently than people who feloniously got $30,000 back from the government? What makes you think is different? You're gonna do the same thing with $10 that you would do with $100, that you would do with $1,000, that you would do with
Exponentially worse. It's gonna be exponentially worse
exponentially
for you.
worse. So, Greg,
Absolutely,
while I would love to
100%.
believe in your fairy tale, real life scenario tells me that y'all would not go get the Dodge Charger. Y'all would just go get the Rolls Royce Ghost
Yep,
or that Revuelto, whatever it's called. You go
that's
put the
it.
down
You
payment
said it
on that,
right.
and then can't even satisfy the rest of it. It's just gonna get repoed in the future. 3
I
months.
agree.
And that's exactly what would happen. So, Greg, while I would love to believe in your fantasy world, my dude, no. And Anton, please tell me if I'm lying. No,
No, you are
that is
100%
not the
correct.
way it works. The debt would not get paid. It would become exponentially worse.
Yo, Jay,
Think-
I had a show where I brought people up with the reparations conversation, and I asked them a question. I said, "Oh, okay, what would you do with it?" And it was literally the personification of what it is that you're saying right now. First thing that they said, most people, well, you know what? About 250,000 of it, I would just go and have a good time. That's the first thing that they said. Right? Come on, man. Like, don't get me started.
Yeah, man. We had this conversation at the restaurant, man, and you're hella
Yeah,
talented at what you're hella talented at what you do.
I appreciate you, bro.
And while some people may believe that I can deliver the information, I just don't have the patience. I don't have the patience to sit in front of the people, man, because I'm an angry dude, bro, and I would ultimately not only get my channel canceled, but I would just
Nah, I think you'll be all right. We gotta refine how it is that you go about.
That's
You know
true.
what's so funny? The middle class are the ones that's the most in debt, not the poorest people.
The poor people can't afford debt. That's a good thing.
Correct. And then
They
the
can't
middle
afford.
class is the ones that pay the majority of the taxes are the most in debt,
Yeah,
which means that it's people that make over $100,000 a year. That's in that bracket between as a household income between 100 and $200,000. That's literally the most in debt, which tells you that money didn't solve the problem for them because they didn't understand how money worked in the first place.
Right. It just opened up a new world for them to go ahead and gain more expensive debt.
Correct. 100%.
The debt that looks better. That's all it is. Debt that looks better, but ain't real cheap.
1000%.
I mean, I'm in agreement with
1000%.
you, man. And when you bang on credit and you bang on this and you bang on that, I can't even be mad at you, bro, because I know that from a bird's eye view, a grand scheme of things, you're 100% correct. Uh, but I just can't help, just like you just can't help getting on here and entertaining people every morning. I just can't help trying to get people to do it the right way, because there is a right way. But I'm
Yeah.
more and more I'm starting to realize, like you said, it's impossible to get people to come out of that hack lifestyle, out of that run the play lifestyle, out of that felonious, I gotta finesse the man lifestyle, until we can get our eyes off of finessing the man and actually start working and doing the hard things that it takes. We are banned from success as a people.
Are you sure you don't
We
want
are
to give
banned.
him your channel, bro?
I'll put it in the chat, man.
All right, cool. All right,
I'll put it
Jay.
in the chat,
I'm
bro.
about to get up
I
out of here,
appreciate
bro.
you, my
All
G.
right, big
Appreciate you,
dog.
my G.